We're going to do this integral, but we will use the complex world. So we're going to write the antiderivative of e to the x, and then we can replace cosine x with e to the ix, and then plus e raised to the negative ix, and this whole thing divided by 2, and then dx. So now the 2 can pull out as 1/2, of course, and then multiply the e to the x to each term there, and then add up the exponents the usual way. So it's going to be e raised to the, and then factor an x out, right? So it's going to be x plus ix, factor the x out, so you're going to have 1 plus ix left over, you see? Okay, plus, and then same thing, e raised to the negative ix with the x, there's a common factor of x, pull that out, and then 1 minus I is what is left over with the x and dx this way. Now the nice thing about this approach is we can simply just do the u sub. So you're going to have a half, and then when you do u sub, it's going to be e raised to the, that same expression, 1 plus ix, and the only difference is in the bottom we have 1 plus I, because if you did u sub, if you differentiate it, that is, say, e to the 1 plus ix, the x would go away, leaving 1 plus I, and it has to cancel with the 1 plus I in the bottom, you see? But that's it, that's the beautiful part, is one of the elementary things in terms of integration. So e raised to the 1 minus I x divided by 1 plus I, and then that's it. We'll attach the c at the end. Now, believe it or not, you just have to clean this up. So that means something specific. I'm going to do 1/2, and then what's left? Well, e to the 1 plus ix. Distribute the x back and separate. So it's going to be e to the x, and then e raised to the ix. And then plus e raised to the x, and then e raised to the negative ix. Over 1 plus I for this one, and then, let's see, this term is going to be 1 plus I. Okay, so this is the one where I meant to say negative I this way. Okay, so copy that 1/2 for now, and then pull the e to the x out as common. And then just, you have e to the ix times 1 minus I. So it's going to be e raised to the ix, and then 1 minus I this way. Okay, maybe you can do the distribution in your head mentally, it's fine. Plus, all right, e raised to the negative ix, and then you're going to have 1 plus I this way. Okay, we still have not the same bottom. There's going to be 1 plus I multiplying 1 minus I. So if a product of a number, it's conjugate and all that. So 1/2 e raised to the x. Okay, let's work with the numerator, distribute. So we're going to have e raised to the ix minus e raised to the ix, and then with the I out here, what else? Plus e raised to the negative ix, and then plus I, e raised to the negative ix, divided by, multiply that out, but you'll see it's 2, okay? I'll leave that to you as an exercise. So then take that 2 in the denominator, multiply to the 1/2, so it's going to be 1/4 e raised to the x. And for the next stage in the process, what we can do that's kind of helpful to simplify things further is just remember that cosine x we'll call c, and sine x we'll call s, just to shorten our notation. So with that new notation, we're going to have the following. Now, e to the ix is just cosine plus I s, Euler's formula and all that, and then minus I, and then it's e to the ix. Again, that's going to be a cosine plus is. E to the negative ix would be, let's see, it's going to be a cosine, but then you have to be careful because up here it's negative ix. So when negative x goes into the sine function, it's odd, so you got to pull it out all the way. So it's going to be minus is, not a positive is. Same thing over here, it's going to be plus I, and then cosine is even, so even if you put cosine of the negative angle is still cosine, you can just put c here, in other words. But then becomes sine of negative x, which is minus is. And that's really it. We don't even need this here, but let's say it's a 1 for now. Okay, let's distribute what we can. So 1/4 of e raised to the x. And now notice that yellow part there. You're going to distribute the I. So you're going to have a cosine plus is minus ic. Now look, it's going to be negative I times I, that's a negative I squared, but I squared is -1. So negative times negative is a positive. In other words, you're just going to end up with a positive s plus c minus is. Okay, and then let's see, plus ic, and then I times negative I is a negative I squared with the negative from here. It's going to be a positive s. Then you have 1/4 of e raised to the x. Let's do that now. So is right here very likely cancels with this negative is. And let's see, the negative ic cancels with this positive ic. So it looks as though we have 2c plus 2s left over right here. Now the factor of the 2 and cancel with the 4, so it's going to be a half of e raised to the x. Remember that c is cosine x, and the s is sine x, and then just attach the c. Exactly the same result we would get from doing integration by parts. The magic of complex numbers. I love it. Please leave a like if you like more advanced math videos like this one.